Welcome back, artists. We're going to make our background for our Yayoi pumpkin, and remember we are working with complementary pairs. So my pumpkin I made was yellow, so my complementary pair is purple. Remember, they're found across from each other on the color wheel, so my background paper I'm going to have is purple. We're going to create a kind of checkered pattern design on the back, and we're going to use two different materials to create some variety and different textures on our paper. So I'm going to first start out with using a purple marker, and we're going to create diagonal lines across our paper. So I'm going to start here, and I'm just going to make diagonal lines that are evenly spaced, roughly 2 fingers apart, and I'm going to go from one edge of the paper to the other. And if they're not perfectly straight, that's okay. If you wanted to use a ruler for this, you can, but it doesn't have to be perfectly straight. Now that I've got them all going this one direction, I'm going to come and do the same thing, but coming the opposite direction. And as you can see, now it's going to create this checkered or square pattern on my paper. Really make sure that none of the lines are getting too close together. We want them to create those squares. Now I'm going to be using a purple crayon, and I'm going to be using that, making the same type of lines, but in between my two lines that are parallel to each other. So like here in this space, I'm going to make a diagonal line that goes in between these lines to create a different color on my paper of purple and to give different textures. You can see a crayon looks a little different than a marker does, so that visual texture is going to create visual interest. So now that I've got them going one way, you can guess I'm going to go again this way. Now this is where it can get a little bit tricky because you got to pay attention because you got a lot of line going on. So I want to make sure they're going in between two purple marker lines. I'm going to go all the way across from one edge to my paper all the way to the other. And there we have it. There is our background for our paper. Now I'm going to cut out my pumpkin. When we're cutting out our pumpkin, we want to make sure that we're cutting next to our black line. Our black line is important. We don't want to have our pumpkin not be as defined without it. If you accidentally cut a little bit of it off, it's okay. Just do your best trying to cut next to that marker line, not on it. But again, you don't want to cut like this and have so much of that paper in between. You want to be close to it, not so far away that you've got a lot of extra paper away from your pumpkin line. Now I'm going to take and I'm going to put glue on my pumpkin, but I don't want to put it on my background because I might put glue in spaces I don't need it if I put it on my background paper. So flip over your pumpkin. Put glue around the edges, and then put some stripes that go across to make sure that it's going to stick well. Then flip it over, and we want to put it roughly in the middle of our paper. Give it a good press so that it sticks pretty well to your paper. If you find an edge that is not sticking well, take your glue, lift it up, and then just give it another good press down. And there you have it, boys and girls. That is our pumpkin. Our Yayoi pumpkin, it's finished, but the last thing that we need is our name and class code. So just make sure you put your name on the back and then a 2 for your grade and then whatever your letter your teacher's name starts with. I hope you had fun and you enjoyed making pumpkins inspired by Yayoi.